Yeah, we need to. Josh, did you rescue Baxter? What's wrong with that? Man, that guy's going to be nothing but bad luck. Do you want a dog that's been captured? He was so unlucky. He's a curse. Welcome to the morning grind. Please like, comment, share the stream. Are you on, little Josh? You helped Josh pick this dog. He is a cool looking dog. I like him. Hey, buddy. Come over here and pick him up, Josh. Let everybody meet Baxter. I get a FaceTime from Josh Saturday, and he's got this guy, and he's like, "Meet Baxter."
This is Baxter.
And I'm like, "Damn, Josh, you went out and bought a 20-year-old dog. How old does Baxter look?"
I mean, yeah, he does look a little old for his age, I guess.
What's his age?
For his age.
Does anybody know?
Shit.
He's 8 months old.
Most people, when they get a dog, they go get a puppy. Josh went out and got a grown man. He's like, he said, I want to skip that puppy stage. What'd you say? You don't like the...
I don't like the puppy phase.
He don't. So he's a lovable little guy. So today, we're giving a shout out to our little buddy, Baxter.
Baxter.
You know, we've got a dog named Baxter in our apartment complex. My wife does not like, because he's very aggressive towards Jax. And that makes her mad. So, moving along, 60 seconds of gratitude. I'm very, very thankful that yesterday, my golf game, I saw some improvements. Hit the ball better. Didn't score good, but I was hitting the ball better. And when I hit the ball better, I feel a lot better about playing golf. And some of the holes, I'm like, man, I'm done. I'm just going to pick up. Who do you like more, Baxter or Jax?
Jax.
Of course. Who's a better dog? I told Bryce we should tomorrow. I'll bring Jax and they can play. But I was going to pick up and just go home because my back was hurting. But I'm like, no, I got to get better. I gotta train my mind to fight through these emotional letdowns. So I kept going. Hello, Andre. Yesterday you'd have been proud. On number 18, Drew, 180 yards out. I hit a ball that I thought when I drove up there, I thought it went in the cup. Drove up there and it was 3 feet from going in. That was a birdie attempt, and I got up there and I missed it. I've had one birdie in my whole life, and I don't even count that as a birdie because I chipped in from like 20 yards off the green. Does that count as a real birdie?
Yeah.
That's luck. That was luck, though. I could never do that again. So I don't even. Hello, Sam Gordon Baxter. I don't count that as a real birdie. Moving right along. Who in here thinks they're a good communicator?
Better than I used to be.
Better than you used to be. Ed, are you a good communicator?
I'm decent.
Oh, what makes you so good?
I've just gotten better.
Drew, do you think Edward is... Let's see what your brother thinks. What do you think he'll say?
I have no idea.
I don't know. He might say he's gotten better. I'm not trying to persuade him. But there's three ingredients that makes a really good communicator. And the reason why I'm talking about this is I violate some of the laws to be a good communicator. So he's gotten better. He's gotten better. Do you think you're a good communicator?
I think there's room for improvement.
I'm going to talk about 3 things, 3 qualities. Does anybody want to guess what one of the 3 may be? Certainty. That does not make you a great communicator. Confidence does not make you a great communicator.
Clarity.
Not what I'm looking for. Mm-mm. Keep guessing.
I would say
I think I talk with a lot of certainty. Ask my wife if I'm a good communicator.
articulate.
Nope. Listening is number 1. A good who's a good listener? Most people that are very certain aren't great listeners because I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, well, you're already wrong. That's what I'm thinking because in my mind, I'm not listening to understand. I'm listening to judge your dumb ass, especially like you over there. Was I a good communicator this morning with you?
You were.
Was I? Did you feel like I was listening to you? I didn't even give you a room to talk.
No, you communicated your point.
I communicate, but whenever you're talking to somebody else, you don't care about my point. Whose point do you care about? Care about your own. So number one, you've got to become a good listener. And it's extremely hard to be a good listener because most people's attention span, because of Google, TikTok, what is something else we get on that we move, our mind moves so. All these things, what that's done is it's trained and conditioned your brain to pay attention to. Like studies show, people can, good morning, Danny Ward. I saw you were in Nashville. You should have called us up. What I have seen is most people's attention span has now shrunk down to 6 seconds. So if you're sitting there, that's why I've never believed in having long meetings. Because if I'm sitting here talking, how long will your brain listen? Then if it listens, how long is it even learning? How long is it going to sit in there and fight and then understand what I'm talking about? Does that make sense to you? So whenever I'm up here, I keep in mind, you're like, I'm thinking about you. Like Ed's already looking at the dog. He's not paying attention to me, are you? Be honest. Be honest. Number two is, do you understand what they're talking about? You got to be understanding. Does that make sense?
Does that go into like kind of like the sympathy thing that we're?
That is empathy. There's a big difference between sympathy and empathy. Like if you were to come in here limping with a broken leg, my sympathy would be, oh man, that's terrible, but at least you didn't lose it. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Empathy, like women are naturally more empathetic. You come in there and limping, and their thought, they move to, oh, I'm sorry, that must be terrible. How are you feeling? And their thought, their feeling is present with you. They're looking at you. They seemed compassionate. They seem to think, God, that sucks. They don't try to change your feeling. They allow you to just sit there in that feeling, and we talk about it. Does that make sense? So whenever you're talking to me, or whenever you're talking to me, my job as a good communicator is to listen and understand your point of view. And it's very hard when you operate in a lot of certainty if I don't agree with what you're saying. My brain starts to skip it, and I'm trying to correct what you're saying. That is not an effective way to communicate. And what ends up happening is the person you're talking to, you become disconnected. Because the person that's talking, the other person, they want to feel heard. They want to be understood. And it's something as many people in our country, we grow up wanting to always be right. I think people want to be right more than they want to be about anything. Trivia, growing up making good grades, the teacher asks a question, you raise your hand up, you want to say that you're right. It's a huge problem that I think it's kind of instilled in us through society at a very early age. What do you think about this dog, Gracie?
I didn't know who that was.
That is Josh's new puppy.
Oh,
How old does this dog look?
4, 5.
Looks like a grown-ass man. Baxter, meet Baxter. He's a puppy. He's 8 months old. He sent me a picture. I'm like, damn, Josh. Yeah. He's very mature looking. So listen, understand, and here's another tough one. Think about these tough things. Patience. Oh, man, these are things that are so tough, and these are so important, especially in your relationships. Like my wife, she can say something to me, and I operate from I got to know exactly what it is you're talking about before I can move, and I ask her some questions, and she's like, "Why are you so challenging?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what you're saying. I'm just trying to know for certain." But it looks like I'm not patient, or she becomes impatient. Are you a patient person?
Not necessarily.
Are you a patient person?
I've learned to be patient.
Well, these three things are like, if you ever read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If any of y'all read that book, it was a book, like whenever I read the book, have you read it?
I'm in the middle of it. Yeah.
What page are you on?
I'm
We're-
audiobooking it.
So you're not reading it.
Loser.
Yeah, you're listening to it. Well, that was a book that helped change my way of understanding the other person. whenever you're communicating, whenever you're talking to somebody, the most important thing is to move from how you think and how you feel and what you're trying to accomplish and shift and be more them-centric. Van Grafton, shut us down.